Well, we want to head back out to the Gate River Run where Sam Kavaris joins us first up.
Sam, I know that you have covered these over many, many years, and it's so exciting each and every time.
You know, remember, Nikki, that this is the 41st running, although they're calling it the 40th anniversary, which is correct. I've covered these since 1982, and I ran in 10 consecutive in the late 80s and into the 90s, and the course hasn't really changed since then. If you remember, in the early 90s, the course had to change because of the construction here around the stadium, as well as a couple of times the finish was also right there in the parking lot instead of in the traditional north side of the stadium. So it has been a little different over the years, but the consistent part is the national record was set right here, 42-22 by Todd Williams, and it has stood for over 20 years. Todd said it was the perfect day. He ended up feeling great, running great, weather was great, no issues whatsoever, and he also jokes that he's the only guy that ever finished first and last in the Gate River Run, because the next year, a couple years later, he got what they call a runner's stitch in his side in San Marco while he was in the lead and stepped off the course and never actually finished that year. So the American record and the national and the world record might be at stake today, because the running conditions are almost perfect for the elite runners, and 42-22 could be certainly in danger. Remember, though, that this is all about a community event, and how many people have pointed at this for maybe a fitness test or a goal every year in this weekend in March. And the numbers of people have grown exponentially over the years to where more than 15,000 will run, and probably more than 13,000 will finish this year's Gate River Run. So it is a giant community event that also has put Jacksonville on the map in terms of the international sporting world, because everywhere you go, when you're in the sports industry and you say, I'm from Jacksonville, most people say to you, oh, the Gate, and that's what the elite runners will call it. The elite women just came by, and the elite field includes the record holder in the half marathon, and this field probably will be determined in terms of the women by about 4 different runners. The men is fairly wide open, no clear-cut favorite coming in to the race today. In terms of the weather, 40s, early 50s, it'll warm up quickly, but just remember, those runners who make that turn at Mayfair and head up Atlantic Boulevard, and even with the race starting a half hour earlier, and it'll come up at 8 o'clock, that sun will be right in their eyes, and it is a lonely, windswept kind of spot for the race once you get there and then go to hit the Hart Bridge. It is a time that will test not just your physical, but your emotional endurance as well. As most runners say, they're saving everything for the Hart Bridge. I can tell you as well, there are so many recreational runners who dread the Hart Bridge and anticipate the Hart Bridge that when they finish, most of them say, you know, it wasn't as hard as I thought, and I still have something left. And I can attest to that. That seemed to always be the case, that you're constantly thinking. It's kind of like TPC Stadium course. Step on the first tee, you're thinking about 17. Here, you take that first step, hit the start line, you're thinking about the Hart Bridge. So it is a giant social event, awfully enjoyable for everybody involved, and a good solid fitness test for people year in and year out who mark this against their calendars and against their ages as well. Cole Pepper joins us live from San Marco at about the halfway point. And Cole, you're at that spot where the talking kind of stops and the realization that I'm only halfway there kind of sets in.
Sam, you were talking about the sort of desolate, lonely spot when you get to Atlantic Boulevard. This is sort of the last gasp of the festival feeling for the runners here. About the 4.4 mile mark where we are here at Watney Park along San Marco Boulevard, just south of San Marco Square. And I'm going to step aside here. We're going to take a look at the course as it comes this way. And you can see they've had the cones up for about an hour now. They're going to start shutting down traffic here as the race approaches. And then as the racers come down, heading north on what is now Hendricks Avenue, they'll turn right on Alexandria Place right here and head up and they will still have that festival feel. You can see one of the bands who will be playing here. This is the band 3, doing a little sound check action. There are also just beyond that a number of people setting up tents and tables, and that sort of festival community feel is exactly what the runners will experience here. But as they start to head out toward Atlantic Boulevard, it starts to become a little more of a serious race feel. It won't feel like as much of a party, both in terms of the atmosphere here and in terms of the legs of these folks. And as you mentioned, Sam, you've run this race several times. If you're used to running 5Ks, this is the time where you really start to feel it because your legs are saying, why aren't we done now? If you've been training for 15Ks, maybe running 10Ks, half marathons, you have a little more in the tank perhaps, but a lot of recreational runners, this will be the point where they start to feel it and maybe decide to power back a little bit as the Gate River Run continues. Our coverage continues straight ahead. We'll be covering the race live right here on the local station. For now, we'll take time out. Back right after this, right here on News for Jackson, Channel 4.
All right, it's time to check in with Crystal Chen, who she's kind of all by herself right now, but that's not going to be the case for long.
Yeah, and Crystal, are you near the Hart Bridge? If so, that's kind of the big crescendo of this race.
Yes, this is the bottom of the Hart Bridge, basically Atlantic Boulevard and Art Museum. We're seeing a lot more cars out here than people, so not a whole lot of runners just yet. We still do have a few minutes before the actual start of the race does begin. Right now, what we do see out here, though, is JSO is out here. We've also got some volunteers out there down in those orange shirts. They've got long sleeves on, so yes, it is still very cold out here. Definitely want to bundle up if you are trying to get out here to cheer on some of the runners. They are setting up tables and what is probably going to be a water station down there. So they're going to be out here supporting the runners as they make their way up this ramp toward the Hart Bridge. And up at the Hart Bridge, that's where things really do get tough. Right now, you can, I don't know if you can hear it, but there is music playing up there. And they do have speakers set up for all the runners that will be running through just to help push them and help make their way down that last mile toward the finish line. So we'll be out here throughout the morning and bringing you live updates from the bottom of the Hart Bridge on Atlantic Boulevard and Art Museum Drive.
All right, you know, usually over the years what they've done is they set up speakers every few feet and then they play like really inspiring running music, you know, so they can really get those runners over that bridge. And it works because by the time, you know, you're on there, I mean, you're so pumped up. Honestly, it's harder coming down that bridge than going up it.
Where did you see? Was it on Facebook that people in Springfield are hearing this music?
There was somebody posting on Facebook that said, what is that I hear? It sounds like the voice of God booming through Springfield. And someone said, of course, it's the speakers from the Gate River Run. But that's how far that's traveling.
Well, if you're in Springfield, that's what your noise is. But we are going to be back in just a bit with so much more as we get closer to everyone starting this race. Stay with us.
First birthday is...
Let's take a live look right now from where the runners will be starting up. And Nikki, you were telling me something really interesting, that the coldest time is right before it starts.
It is, because right now, you know, you have to get in line. They're getting everybody in their place, and you really line up based on the time that you run and how quickly or, you know, how not so quickly you run each mile. So you see that how everybody's grouped together. You're not moving, so it's cold for the next 15 minutes, and you're just kind of jumping up and down and moving back and forth. And here's the thing, though, as Jonathan was telling us, that's going to change pretty quickly for these runners.
Yep, these people will be getting a lot warmer, a lot quicker, Jonathan. So what do they see kind of as the highs as this goes on, maybe till 9:30 or 10?
Well, by the latter part of the race, we'll be in the 60s. So that will be a considerable warm-up considering right now, what is it, 40 degrees? So we take a live look out of our Riverside cam. The good news is that we have a lot of sunshine. And so when you have that sun beaming down on you, it feels slightly warmer than it actually is when we look at the air temperature. Winds are calm, though. Here's your Gate River Run forecast. We're at 50 degrees at the 8 o'clock hour. That's when the race begins. By 9 o'clock, we're at 57 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Then once again, by 10 o'clock, we're at 64 degrees. I don't think you could ask for much better weather than that, because if we were warmer to start the race, that means we will be warmer to end the race, and that will be almost borderline hot. So we are going to just enjoy this mild weather while it lasts. So we're looking at our winds this morning. Winds are going to come out of the south today, out of the southwest at this point. They're very mild, which is nice for runners, and so you don't have that brisk kind of blowing you around. Temperatures kind of vary depending on which part of Duval County you're in. We're at 32 degrees at Cecil Common. Meanwhile, at the beach, we're at 46 degrees. A wider look at temperatures shows that there are a lot of 30s on the map. 37 degrees at Waycross, 37 also at Brunswick, 33 in Valdosta. We're scanning the skies with the ZatTrack radar. No rain to speak of today. We'll reach a high of 74 degrees. We'll be back after the break.
It is hosted by...
Hi, everybody, and welcome to our coverage of the Gate River Run, the 41st running, the 40th anniversary here. Our guest analyst once again this year is Keith Brantley, 8-time national champion, U.S. Olympian in the 1996 Olympics, where he ran the marathon for the United States wearing the Stars and Stripes in Atlanta. Perfect conditions here today that we haven't seen in 20 years.
Absolutely perfect. Not a breath of air, wind out there. There's absolutely perfect temperature. I don't think we could get any better today.
42.22 is the record, obviously. Is it in danger today?
Well, you know, I think there's an outside chance. I think
because it'll take a combination of perfect weather and somebody who has a great day like Todd Williams did.
Well, I think Leonard Carrier probably has the best chance to break the record, but, you know, there's not a Todd Williams that comes along every day, and I think in the end, you know, I think it's going to be really tough to get that record. It's a fast record.
Keith, you won the national championship at 10K, at 20K, at 25K, and you also the national championship in the marathon. But 15K didn't fit into your schedule a lot at that time. And for a lot of the elite runners, they've got to point to this, right, to make it happen.
Absolutely. This is not a B race. This is an A race. You have to be ready to run. You have to be really absolutely on your game. You know, it's one of the top races in the country, but, you know, you have to point toward this race.
Here come the wheelchair starters for the 41st running or rolling of the Gate River Run. One of the features of this particular race is the wheelchair division. And I mean, when you see some of these guys, the very serious athletes, this is not a recreational sport for an awful lot of these guys who take off in their chairs. And I mean, to get over the Hart Bridge and you're running is one thing, in your wheelchair is something else.
Absolutely. We went and ran it last 2 weeks ago as a training run, and there were a few of the wheelchair athletes up there, and you just don't get a sense of how hard it is to push a wheelchair up that bridge.
And as you see them go by here downtown at the start line at the stadium, there are an awful lot of people who are lining this. Is that encouraging to runners at this point?
Absolutely. It is absolutely one of the things that drives. It's basically your Olympics. It's your Super Bowl. And you've been preparing for this for a year. If you're a recreational runner, having your family and seeing them at, you know, mile 6 or 7, you know, it's thrilling. It really is thrilling.
Keith, this is the elite women we're looking at the start line. About 40 women who were considered contenders for the 15K national championship, but there really are two and maybe one, the two Mollies. Can we say that?
Yeah, Molly Seidel and Molly Huddle, they're the top runners. Obviously, Molly Huddle, 2-time Olympian, American record holder. But let's not, you know, look out for Jordan Hussey, our champion last year. She looks really, really fit. I'm watching her do her strides, and she looks really, really fit and ready to go.
20 seconds to the start. The 6-minute equalizer bonus is in play here, and I really think that one of those Mollies or our defending champion will take that extra $5,000 bonus.
I believe so.
So here we go with the elite women starting out. You really can't tell anything, but when they start, But Keith, in the start of an elite race like this, when you're out in a pack about this size, are you concentrating on running your own race to start? When do you start looking at the competition?
Well, it's really a little bit of a combination of both. It's a being able to, measure yourself against the other athletes, but not go so far into debt if they're pushing really, really hard. You have to really be careful not to overextend yourself early on. So same rules apply.
Because somebody may go out and just try to break you early, right?
Absolutely. And, there's a lot of gamesmanship, a lot of, testing yourself, especially early on in the race. I think it's important to, again, run within yourself, but also you've got to stay close. It really, at this level, at the level they're running now, it really is a matter of staying in contact.
And these elite runners know within a few seconds how fast each mile is going by, right?
Absolutely. They have an internal clock that tells them, okay, my breathing rate is this, my cadence is this. I know within a couple of seconds what that mile's going to be.
We're going to take a quick break right here on News 4 Jackson, Channel 4, and we will return with live coverage of the 41st running, the 40th anniversary of the Gate River Run. Stay with us.
How is a Channel 4, the local station. This is special coverage of the 41st annual Gate River Run.
Welcome back to our coverage of the 40th anniversary of the Gate River Run, the 41st running of the Gate River Run. Our analyst Keith Brantley, 8-time national champion. Keith, this is a race this year that has perfect conditions, and there are maybe two things that you can say about it. One is that it's wide open, but maybe because the field's not as deep and as strong at the top as perhaps the women's field is.
Right. The field definitely is a little bit hollowed out this year, even though it is a national championship. I think that one of the things that may be inhibiting some of the top athletes coming is there's a big half marathon in New York City next week, and a lot of the athletes are going to that as well.
The race schedule, some people are pointing to Boston. There are all kinds of things that impact that, and for the recreational runner, that doesn't make any sense. It's like, hey, I'm just going to go run 9.3 miles, but for the elite runner, this has to fit into what they're trying to accomplish.
Absolutely. This is, planning that goes maybe a year, 2 years in advance. So you really want to be able to work your way through these races. I think a half marathon is a good tune-up for Boston. I personally think it's a little bit long this close to Boston. I think this is a perfect race.
When you would stand at the start line among the elite runners, as we see now as they're stepping up here for the 8 o'clock start, would you find your own place in your mind? Would you look around? Would you take it in? Where would you go here 30 seconds before the race starts?
I'd absolutely be plugged into the top 3 guys, and I'm hanging on to them. I'm not letting them go.
So you'd look around and see where they were? Would you stand next to them?
Absolutely, we stand. There's an intimidation factor, Sam. I mean, we may be skinny,
right?
but there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, a lot of people maybe because we don't see that much running coverage out on the course because of the logistics of that there are a lot of sharp elbows in that pack.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And and the bottom line is that there is an intimidation factor. You've got great runners out there. The bottom line is you don't want to give them any mental edge.
If you look at the elite field this year, as we're 20 seconds from the start of the elite men taking off here at 8 o'clock. So is somebody going to push the pace here and run this, somewhere just over 4 minutes in the first mile, trying to establish who they are?
They definitely do. They want to establish dominance, and they want to, set the pace early on. Absolutely.
You can see an awful lot of the elite runners up in the front here with the yellow bibs on the front.
Yep.
And then obviously what the Gate River Run does, Doug and Jane Allred, who are the race directors, they seed the runners, trying to get people to run kind of with people who are running about the same speed. And so this is what they call the first wave that goes off at 8 o'clock, and they'll go off pretty much every 5 or 6 minutes before they get to 4 waves. Because I can remember the years that I ran here, the first half of the race, all I saw was people pass me. And the second half of the race, all I did was pass people.
You were in the wrong corral,
I was in the wrong corral.
Yeah, no,
actually, I used to step off the curb here and go. So,
well, you're right.
This is and it is important because of the, not from an elite standpoint, but from a recreational standpoint. This is a giant social event, and I tell people that all the time.
Absolutely. You know, again, this is the Olympics for the Jacksonville recreational runner. This is the event. If you're not participating in this running event, you know, you're really missing out, and it's huge. I mean, and if you look at it, a lot of these runners, if you see, they're actually, a lot of them in there, you don't see a lot of people weaving in and out. They've done a really good job getting people in the right corrals for the right pace, because you want to have a smooth start. You don't want to go out too fast. You want to go out too slow.
Keith, you and your wife Kim work with a lot of recreational runners here in North Florida. What was your advice for them this year, knowing that the weather was going to be good, that people would be excited here at the start line, and that it is the 40th anniversary?
Well, you know, I've got one runner, actually. Her name's Laura DeBella. She's the executive director of the Nassau County Economic Development. You know, she's been running really well. She's actually running Boston. I told her, I said, listen, this is your chance to break an hour. She's run right around a little under 61 minutes. This is your chance to break an hour. Go for it. You're on a roll. She's been running really well, and she's not untypical of the other runners, the recreational runners that we work with. You know, I think it's really important that they today take advantage of it, of these conditions. You're not going to get them.
I was going to say, it doesn't come up all the time when this particular race falls on a Saturday morning where the weather started in the 40s. It's moved into the 50s here. There's not much wind. We've had good training conditions leading up to this as well. So people, if you had a chance to set what you guys call a PR, today's the day. Today
is the day. And again, I think you still don't want to break the rules of good pacing. You don't want to go, you know, out crazy or anything like that. But I think the advantage you're going to get is you're not going to heat up later on in the race.
All right, we're looking at the elite women coming over the Main Street Bridge, and there's a good shot of the thousands of people who were in the first wave. The elite women have broken up already. That's probably not a surprise to you.
No, it's not. And I think in the end, we're probably going to see a group of 4, maybe even break down to a group of 3 women, and I think they're going to be, that's what we're going to see for the rest of the race.
At 42:22, it will take a special day for somebody. Will they be aware after the first, say, mile or maybe the first 5K that they're in that zone? Do you feel that? I mean, the 8 times you won national championships, did you know? When did you know?
Well,
you probably knew when you stepped to the starting line those years.
Well, you know, and I think in this race, particularly in this race, if you're not on pace to break the record at about 5K, you're done.
Right. So just concentrate on winning the race at that point.
Concentrate on winning the race. And again, you know, everybody has a different style of racing. You know, Todd is the type of guy that would go out and just hammer from the start. Right. He would make your life miserable, all right? For a guy like me, all I want to do is win the race. I'm not interested in times. I just want to outkick a guy like him. He would absolutely try to make your life miserable.
And you can see some of the elite men there in the front. No surprise, already down to about maybe 15, 16 runners there in the front as they wind their way through downtown. This first step up the Main Street Bridge, for some recreational runners, as you go over it, everybody goes, oh, is this the Hart Bridge?
Yeah.
All that. But for the elite runners, this is very little. And for them, going up it, going down it is as important in terms of stride.
Absolutely. You have a lot of impact stress when you're going downhill. Your body weight is multiplied by a factor
9 times.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And so that's something that you have to be careful of, particularly particularly if you're actually striding out and not shuffling along like so many people. We're about to see the second wave here at the start line. You see people packed in. They do such a great job here because you'll notice that there's a big empty spot behind them. That doesn't mean this is the last wave. The next people are in what the Jaguars call parking lot P. They're also corralled in there, and they'll move them to the start line here in a minute. Now, these folks probably aren't going to break an hour. Probably leaving here at 10 after, 8 minutes after.
I think this is a group between an hour and 65 minutes. This is where this group is.
My oldest daughter, ran Gate River Run a few years ago, and she told me she was training for the Atlanta Marathon, the Georgia Marathon in Atlanta. And I said, well, when will you finish? And she said, oh, I'll be done maybe 1:17 or something. And she crossed the finish line at 1:04. And I said, I never saw her because I wasn't looking for her yet. She said, you know, the conditions were good. The race was so social, and you just get into a rhythm here that really a lot of these people don't even realize they're going to run their PR today.
No, absolutely. And, you know, one thing I thought was really interesting, I got a text message last night from Todd Williams, you know, our record holder, and his daughter, Bailey, who just turned 18 today, is running the race for the first time. And she's probably in this group. She's probably in this second wave and is going to run a fantastic race. And I thought it was really funny. He passed the torch to his daughter.
What's interesting is that this number of people who are going to run just over an hour, their training is what, maybe 25 miles a week?
Yeah, it's between 20 and 40 miles a week. It really depends on the schedule that they've set out.
Hey, Gil, that's one of our streakers, the oldest streaker.
Oh, absolutely.
Gil, who runs the pharmacy over in Ortega, just one of the most fabulous people you'll ever meet, going by, participating in his 41st
That's amazing,
Gate
isn't it?
River Run. That's just unbelievable.
It is amazing.
Gil's in his 80s, by the way.
Yeah, he's amazing.
And there he was in the second wave.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Going by.
And you know, I think the main thing here is that these folks are putting this in. You know, these are people that are working real jobs that are just, you know, going out and trying to, you know, get in a couple of, 5 or 6 mile runs a week and you know, run one of the most popular 15Ks in the country.
As much as this is a social event, for the people in this particular wave, though, this is still pretty competitive.
Oh,
absolutely. I can tell you that when I would pass guys on the Hart Bridge, that would make them mad. So it was always a mad sprint to the finish for me. So, but these people will get into a rhythm probably the time we hit the Main Street Bridge, and their competitive juices will kick in. They're not worried about finishing. They're looking to run something that they can be proud of.
Well, absolutely. And one of the most competitive age divisions is the above 40 group, you know, where, you know, they've got a kind of a rivalry going on with some of their buddies and stuff, and you should see them coming off the bridge sprinting down as they're flying.
Absolutely. Now, this group also includes, and probably once again this year, and we haven't gotten the official statistics, but in the last 4 years, there have been more women registered for the Gate River Run than men. It continues to be the fastest growing group of people who are interested in what's happening and this sort of fitness endeavor.
No, absolutely. And, you know, what's really interesting is the United States actually leads the whole world in participation of women in distance running.
Wow.
Kim and I ran a marathon in Paris in April, and it was 80% men.
No kidding.
I thought I was running.
Shocked.
I thought I was in the wrong race.
How about that? Do you see the elite men have just crossed over the Main Street Bridge there? You see from our drone shot, beautiful look at downtown Jacksonville and the signature Main Street Bridge. And you can see it's dwindling down a little bit. And a couple of these guys look like they're pushing the pace. And what fascinates me Keith, in this situation is the different running styles. Some guys look like they're laboring, they're not. Other guys look like they're cruising, and other guys are more than willing just literally to draft off of somebody's shoulder.
Absolutely. And, you know, one of the things I've always, you know, tried to talk to runners, especially recreational runners, whenever you can, draft somebody. You know, you get anywhere from a 3 to 5% advantage just by drafting somebody. You know, think about this. If you're running 6 minutes per mile, you're generating a 10-mile-an-hour headwind, right? If you can duck in behind somebody, you're going to reduce that by 30%. So I think it's really interesting. You're right. I mean, you know, the different forms and things like that, I always try to find the tallest, biggest guy to run behind.
So that's why when I ran Summer Beaches Run, there were so many people lined up behind me.
Follow Sam.
We'll take a quick break here in our coverage of the 2018 Gate River Run. We'll be right back.
How are you guys doing today?
Welcome back. Our live coverage of the 41st Gate River Run continues here on Channel 4. We are live here just about the halfway point of this race, just shy of 4.5 miles at Watley Park, just south of the square in San Marco. And the elite women coming here very shortly. They've been underway for about 17 minutes. We expect in the next 5 minutes or so, the elite women will be coming through here. As Sam was talking about, a very strong group of elite women today. 2 or 3 that we're really keeping a close eye on, including the defending champion, Jordan Hasse, also Molly Seidel and Molly Huddle. Those are really the 3 we expect to contend among the elite women. Also, by the time they get here, we expect the women to still be ahead of the men. We'll be keeping a close eye on how it all plays out as the Gate River Run unfolds. For a lot of the runners right now, though, folks who are recreational runners, they're still trying to get past the start line because it's such a massive race, talking about over 15,000 entrants once again this year. I'll give you a chance to take a look down the course here, and you can see that some JSO officers on motorcycles starting to clear the area. A lot of fans starting to line this area. They know that the racers are coming here and that some of those top runners' arrival is very imminent. Again, about the 4.5 mile mark for the elite runners, they will likely surpass this area in terms of a water station. There is a water station just down Alexandria Place, which is the road right in front of us where they will turn. But for those who are recreational runners, it's a great place to catch a little bit. I'm told that the volunteers here have about 300 gallons of water at this water station alone. And as you take a look at the Main Street Bridge and you see the wave of humanity, and what a shot that is. Just for a lot of runners here who have started off jockeying for some position as they head across the Main Street Bridge, not at all to the just about the 1 mile mark there before they make that turn coming across the bridge and will head through San Marco down River Road and then snake their way back up to our spot before heading from here up toward Atlantic Boulevard. And for a lot of folks who will tell you who have run this race, it's at that point where it starts to thin out just a little bit. Great shot from above here from Sky 4. And anybody who's run a race of any kind, distance race, 5K, 10K, 15K, can tell you that there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of adrenaline in the pack when you start a race. One of the challenges certainly is to not go out too fast because there's so much energy and adrenaline. People get so excited about it. And as we take a closer look here, we'll be following the leaders coming down the way. Both the men and the women, of course, will be competing against one another, but also between themselves when you talk about the way that the competition plays out and trying to win that 6-minute bonus. If the women winners can finish ahead of the men, that would be a big moment for the woman who can do that here at the Gate River Run. Talking about trying to pace yourself, though, it's a big key for recreational runners, particularly with all the expectation of what's going on. For some, it's just about walking the course and finishing it, and it becomes a very social experience as well. Some runners talk a lot more than others. The walkers tend to have a little more conversation time as they come through the Gate River Run and the 9.3 miles, the 15K. Perfect running weather here in Jacksonville today for the 41st running. Here's another look at our leaders. Coming down what is Hendricks Avenue at this point. And they'll be making a right turn at Alexandria here in just a few minutes. We're just past the 21-minute mark for the elite women. Men just past the 15-minute mark with that 6-minute gap. And here we see the first of the ladies heading down, about to make this turn. They'll follow this motorcycle from JSO. And out early, it is Molly Huddle, the American record holder in the 10K and the half marathon. She broke Dina Castor's 2006 record at Houston. Also the woman credited with the creation of the female running emoji. So there's one of the three. And then here are the other two, including our defending champion, Jordan Hesse, running stride for stride with Molly Seidel. Those are the three runners we expect to be competing for the championship today. Really the top three in what has been a bit of a resurgence of American female distance running. They'll also be pointing toward the Boston Marathon next month. They'll be joined there by Shalane Flanagan. And now we take a look at the men. The defending champion is Leonard Courier. Last year's winner ran 43:22. That's a pace of 4:39 per mile. And probably the two leading candidates here, Leonard Courier and Samuel Chilanga, a couple of Kenyan-born runners. Shot over San Marco from Sky 4. You can see the number of runners, many of whom have pointed to this day for a year or more to get out and run at this distance. This is not the distance that you see very often, the occasional 15K for recreational runners, but most, of course, are 5Ks, the 10K or a half marathon. So a 15K kind of fits in between that 10K and the half marathon distance. And different opportunity. And today, with as many people who are lining the streets to cheer on the runners, it's going to be quite the adrenaline rush for a lot of these runners competing in what is the biggest race of their race year. You see some of the other elite runners coming through here. You saw Bridget Lyons, the Athletic Track Club, who was 17th last year, go by. Rosa Morello in the black top just went by as well. And the runners continue to file across the Main Street Bridge. Talking about whether there could be a record today, the weather is just about perfect. But one of the things that does go into a record-setting run is certainly have the other competition there. Maybe a better chance for the women to put up a big time. Jordan Hesse last year ran a 5:18 pace. The course record's a 5:02 pace. So to have other elite runners with you and pushing you could be a big part of that. Less likely for the men to set a record today. But for some, again, part of this is competition. Part of this is the community event. The men leading the way, just about to make this sweeping turn here in San Marco as well. And it's not just the men and the women divisions. You also have the wheelchair competitors, hand crank and otherwise. And here are the first of the men about to make this turn near the halfway point, including the defending champion Leonard Courier, who's out front. Kenyan-born runner, ran the 10K in the 2016 games in Rio. He's one of two Americans to run a sub 60-minute half marathon. Last year was his first at the gate, and it was the 10th fastest 15K in the world a year ago. As the elite men come through here, Wade Meadows from the Roots Running Project making the turn. Our coverage continues of the 41st Gate River Run, the National Championship 15K. Rolls on right here on Channel 4.
Saturday morning weathers.
Our coverage of the Gate River Run continues, the 41st running of the National Championship 15K. We're live here in San Marco and all around the race course. As you can see here on Hendricks Avenue, some of the elite runners have basically cleared now, and you're starting to see more of the second wave elite runners coming through. You can see them based on the yellow highlighted bib numbers on their chests. The leaders have gone to Atlantic Boulevard and will be heading toward the Green Monster, the Hart Bridge here shortly. The women about a half an hour in. They should finish in the next 15, 16 minutes or so for most of the elite runners. The party continues. There's a band playing here at Watley Park in San Marco, and all kinds of volunteers setting up with water stations and so forth. But as we see this line of runners coming in, you're starting to see some who certainly are pacing at a very more than a respectable pace here. For the men, this is under a 7-minute per mile pace, which is impressive for a 5K, much less a 15K, as they continue to come down the way. The number of runners who look at this as their chance to set a big one, to really put the standard on the season, is very impressive. Still folks coming across the Main Street Bridge. This gives you an indication just how many people are running this race. And as Sam was talking about in the open, talking about how everybody is lined up for the hey, Chris McCaffrey from First Place Sports coming by. Some of the local runners now really starting to come through. And you see the shot from above, and how many of these runners who have put so much into it really point to this. And it's sort of like playing the stadium course at TPC Sawgrass. People ask, hey, how'd you do on 17? When you run the Gate River Run, people say, how'd you do at the Green Monster? How'd you do at the Gate? That's always the conversation. For months leading up to it, people asking in running groups, hey, you're running the Gate. Hey, are you ready for the Gate? Well, and there goes Mark Burgett, one of the elite distance runners, endurance runners in the area. It is a major scene. It is the scene in running in Jacksonville, and this shot of the Main Street Bridge really tells you everything you need to know about the number of people who find this to be such an important aspect of the running season. And somewhat like Daytona, where it's the biggest race of the year at the beginning of the year, you have a lot of folks who really mark this as the Super Bowl for their running in Jacksonville. And a lot of the training, particularly through the cooler months, certainly easier rather than the heat and the humidity of the summertime. Some will run this as a social experience. Some will run it as a competition. Some about halfway in between. There are 38 streakers in the field. Those who have run each and every year dating back 40 years and now running in their 41st. They put a time limit on the streakers this year. Shouldn't be too prohibitive for most. But as some of the runners come here in San Marco, making the swing up Alexandria Place about the halfway point, you can see some runners looking very comfortable at the pace at which they're running, others laboring a bit more here. We saw Aaron Pitch-Colin, the former Jacksonville Armada player, just a moment ago go through. He ran the Donna as well. Some have a little different look, like the mask there. And here's a look at our leaders. The women about 34 minutes into this one. The men 6 minutes behind. So for the men, looking about a 28 minutes at this point for the leaders. Leonard Career trying to repeat as champion. Jordan Hesse, the defending champion on the women's side. Atlantic Boulevard can be a much lonelier place than running through San Marco. St. Nicholas and that stretch certainly has a different feel to it for the runners than running through the more festival feel of San Marco. Band playing here at San Marco at Watley Park. And while the field is stretching out just a little bit, it's pretty much a steady stream now of runners here in San Marco. There's very little gap in between one runner and the runners in front, maybe 3-4 seconds. You see a lot of packs coming in and sort of pacing each other as they come down through the run. This is an overhead shot of the women. The leaders coming through. They're on the way to the Hart Bridge, the Green Monster. This will be less of a taxing thing for the elite runners, of course, but still on a course with very little elevation change until you get to that point. Your body can settle into it, and all of a sudden, hey, now you got to run up. You got over a mile to go at that point. About a mile and a half from the foot of the Main Street Bridge, or rather of the Hart Bridge, over the bridge into the finish line near Everbank Field. A couple of weeks ago, local runners had the chance to run the Hart Bridge in preparation for this race. You don't get to do that very often, obviously, because of traffic. But a great chance to sort of get ready for what is the biggest physical and emotional hurdle of the Gate River Run, the Green Monster. Another shot of the Main Street Bridge from our Sky 4 drone, and you still see folks heading across. 36 minutes after the elite women started, you still have runners and some walkers making their way past about that 1 mile mark of the Main Street Bridge. What a shot. Now back here in San Marco on Hendricks Avenue, as you see some of the runners coming through. And it basically, again, we're starting to see runners really bunch up here as the field spreads out from the middle. Some of the faster runners, some of those who have a little more a chance to get there. Let's take a look back. There is the leaders at the foot of the Hart Bridge. And coming up the bridge, as they crest the top of that bridge, they'll see the finish line in the distance. As they come down within the next 6 minutes or so for the finish for the women. The men will be right there as well. Again, perfect conditions for this race today, weather-wise. And a chance to put up a very good time, as some of these elite runners will be looking forward again to the Boston Marathon and also looking to claim a national championship today. Another shot of the foot of the Hart Bridge. Some of the top runners here getting to that point, ready to take the next step, start to grind their way up to the top. Some runners will tell you it's as tricky to go down as it is to go up. It's taxing to go up, but coming down, then it can be very difficult to maintain your pace, and it puts a lot of stress on the quads going downhill after you go over the top of the bridge. Our coverage of the River Run, the 41st running of the National Championship 15K, continues right here on Channel 4.
Welcome back to our coverage of the 41st running of the Gate River Run 2018. Sam Cabarrus along with Keith Brantley, and we're standing here at the finish line, and you can see right in the front, I can't quite make out his number, but our defending champion Leonard Correa is wearing the #1 bib, and he is right there. Looks like he is going to try to win this thing in back-to-back years. Would that surprise you at all?
No, and I said this before at the start. He's got the fastest 10K in the field. He's got he's on a roll, definitely. He did very well in the national championships in the half and in cross country. So, he's got the experience, but he's being challenged, and I can't make out that's Molly Huddle, actually, the lead woman, and she's obviously got
a couple hundred yards lead over the men who just crested the Hart Bridge.
Exactly. So she looks like she's probably, I think, she's crested the Hart Bridge, and now she's coming down. Yep.
Has she looked over her shoulder yet?
Probably not. She's. This is one of those things where if you look behind you, these guys can just smell blood, and believe me, they know she's up there, and they're going after her.
And they know there's money on.
It's worth
on
$5
grand.
grand.
Yeah,
Come on.
It's right. I mean, you can buy cocktails all night.
Absolutely.
$5 grand.
But
for those of you familiar with the Hart Bridge, they're actually running on the side of the Hart Bridge that actually goes south over the Hart Bridge, over the St. Johns River, of course. And one of these two guys is going to win the race.
Absolutely. And, they've now crested the Hart Bridge. And again, they can see her now.
Yeah. Does that help?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the way you do it, Sam, is you look and you see her go by a fixed point, and you count down the seconds.
Really?
Absolutely.
How about that?
And so you wait about another 30 seconds and you start counting. It gives you that opportunity to go after them.
And you say, okay, I was 25 seconds, now I'm 23 seconds behind.
Exactly. And they're coming after a lot faster than that.
Yeah, sure. But you have that presence of mind even at the 8-mile mark that I can do this, having run this course before. They understand the course. They know, as you and I have talked as we walked over here, when you get to the top of the Hart Bridge, there's still plenty of race left.
There is. It's a solid mile, a little over a mile, and maybe almost a mile and a half. And the tough thing about it is that you're running so fast, but your legs are also braking as well, because you're coming down really hard on your quads, and you want to keep your stride fairly short. You don't want to overstride, and it's kind of like trying to figure out how to whisper the loudest.
You can tell that Molly has decided she has absolutely picked it up here.
Absolutely. She's running all out right now, and I think she sees that she has an opportunity to do this. I think it's going to be really close.
This is the on-ramp to the Hart Bridge. If you're familiar with driving downtown, you can see the parking lot to the stadium there on the right side of your picture. She'll come down here to the bottom and make a left and come around the north side of the stadium, where there's about 300 yards of a straightaway to get to the finish line. And you can see that the two guys in front are absolutely, as Todd Williams used to like to say, pushing the pace. Get there first and see if you can't catch her.
Absolutely. And what's really interesting is, again, they can see her. They know that they've got her in their sights, but I think it's going to be really tough. I think she's got him. I really think she's got him.
No surprise here. She is the record holder in the half marathon. Just recently set that. Two-time Olympian. This is what you're looking for as the Gate River Run, the 40th annual Gate River Run. You can hear the crowds here at the finish line cheering Molly Huddle, who wins. And
Sam, she destroyed the men's field.
They are nowhere to be seen at this point.
That is impressive. That's impressive. Usually we see it within a couple of seconds. Right now I think we're at about 10 seconds, probably closing on 15. And
this is interesting because I can tell you, having covered this race for so many years, particularly since the equalizer bonus, the co-race directors, Doug and Jane Allred, had modified that number, a certain number of minutes, 6, 6:30, 6:45, depending on the previous year. They settled on 6 minutes. Shalane was able to do it.
Right.
Dina was able to do it, but it was close each time.
Absolutely.
This is amazing. Now we've got the second female finisher before
the first men's finisher. That's Jordan Say. That's Jordan, our champion last year.
Champion, absolutely.
That's impressive. Like I said, I think it probably shows what kind of shape these two women are in.
And here comes what we anticipate being our men's winner, who has a substantial lead, coming to once again the finish line here on the north side of the stadium. The 40th annual Gate River Run is won by our defending champion.
That's Leonard Carrere. Yep, absolutely. And again, just unbelievable how fast Molly and Jordan ran. I mean, just what a fantastic race they put together. Sam Chalenga was second.
It is pretty amazing how the Army program that these two men joined has been such, and certainly Leonard is a part of a big running group that the U.S. military supports them, sends them out. They're tremendous ambassadors, and just guys that, I mean, I hate to say it, love to run.
Well, they
just love it.
Back in when I was competing, I trained with a group of Kenyan distance runners, and they're very disciplined, very focused. They're here, for a single purpose. The Army team, obviously, they have a full-time job. They're working 40 hours a week.
Sure.
They're
going out and train.
And then they're going out and they're figuring out how to get the running in.
Right.
So the bottom line is that they're here. They're U.S. citizens now.
Right.
And most of the guys are from Kenya. Have come over to compete for the United States, but also full-time Army.
One thing, Keith, that I've noticed here, and we're going to talk to Leonard here in just a second, he is wearing the latest and greatest in terms of running gear, and we'll show you that once we get into a lot of people finishing. A shoe that weighs almost nothing whatsoever. So you can see a lot of people still going over the Hart Bridge. There we go. And opportunity here to see some things from Sky 4 and from our drone and from our helicopter as well. Here, let's talk real quick with our defending champion and current champion, Leonard Carrere. Leonard, congratulations.
Thank you.
You really, right after you got to the top of the Hart Bridge, you said, okay, I'm done. I'm leaving you now, and I'm just going to go win this race.
I thought we were going to catch the girls, the female. I was saying, I think I might cut them in the downhill. But I realized it was too late. I'm a little disappointed.
Right.
Yeah.
Last year, winning this race and running in this for the first time last year, you knew the course. Mm-hmm. Did that help you this year when you got out there?
Yeah, that helped me a lot because I know where to make the moves. And then I know the toughest parts, and so when I went to train, I knew what to expect, and I think it helped me a lot. So this year I was feeling more confident.
Yeah. So Leonard, when coming off the bridge, when did you see Molly ahead of you? Did you have a good look at her?
No, I couldn't see her.
You really
saw her?
I never saw her. I realized, man, she's gone.
So you were just really interested in covering yourself on the first, to get first place and not worry about winning the equalizer bonus?
Yeah, I wanted it, but when I realized she's gone, I didn't.
Pretty impressive run by her.
Yeah,
getting out in front for you not to see her. She had to be 300-400 yards in front of you.
He was way ahead, so it's good. So we go again, train again, maybe come back next year, come with a new strategy. Maybe I might catch her next year.
Leonard, what's your plan? What's the next race for you?
Yeah, right now we're going to Wall Half in 2 weeks, so that's
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right. A little bit longer than this, obviously.
Yeah.
A little bit different strategy. Will you change your training at all in the next couple of weeks?
No. Maybe just do more speed walk. So because it's going to be a fast course.
Right.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And so it looks like 2 women actually finished ahead of the first male.
That's never happened.
I don't think that's ever happened
That's
before.
never happened.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's an indicative of how great the field is. When you look at how fast these guys are, I think the women actually just had a great day today.
Had a great day, and 2 of the real elite. I mean, we're talking about world champions here, finishing in our little town of Jacksonville, Florida, in the front.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think because there were 2 strong ones, 2 elite runners. I think they were helping each other. That's what helped them today. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Did you look around at the 5K and say, okay, this guy, and this guy. I just need to stay with them.
No. I was more focused on making sure that I keep the pace hard. I wanted to keep it, I didn't want to go slow. The plan today was like, if we go fast, we might catch the ladies, because I knew they were going to run fast. So, yeah.
Leonard, congratulations. You're once again the champion, the United States 15K champion and a champion of the Gate River Run. Thanks for coming. We hope to see you again next year.
Thanks,
Leonard Career, our defending champion and now the two-time champion of the Gate River Run, the winner of the 40th anniversary and the 41st running of the Gate River Run. We'll continue with our coverage here on the 2018 Gate River Run on News 4 Jackson, Channel 4, right after the break, so stay with us.
The champs.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. We are taking a live look outside right now. This is Atlantic Boulevard at Art Museum, where thousands of runners right now are making their way up the Hart Bridge. They are exhausted, they are tired, but they are not giving up. You can see all of them. This is the hardest part of the race, where you do have to make that half-mile climb up the Hart Bridge. They do have cheerleaders out here, a lot of cheerleaders, a lot of families out here supporting their friends, a lot of people out here with their signs out here, just cheering them on and helping them make that last mile up the road. So we do have a number of officers out here as well, JFRD on hand in case there is a medical emergency. But for now, all these runners are steadily coming up and making their way up the bridge. A lot of happy people out here, a lot of excitement, and a lot of energy. We're going to be out here throughout the morning giving you live updates. For now, we'll send it over to you. We'll be right back after this break. Don't go away.
Welcome back to our coverage of the 2018 Gate River Run, the 41st running it. You can see some of the folks coming up Hendricks Avenue and making that right turn into Watley Park. Here we're 55 minutes into the race at this point, at least from when the elite runners went. Leonard Correa, our defending champ, ends up winning the race, and Molly Huddle ended up winning the women's race as well. The record, and we should say hello to our former champion and good friend Todd Williams, who is watching on the live stream at his home up north. Good to hear from Todd, and he noted that it was a perfect and beautiful day here.
Yeah, absolutely, and Todd's daughter I mentioned earlier, Bailey, turned 18 just today, and this is her first river run.
18 today on on the anniversary of the Gate River Run. What we're seeing here, Keith, is obviously people who are crossing the finish line who are going to make it under an hour. These people are strong runners.
Yeah, they're moving. And, you know, I think that this, again, every year we see, you know, more and more runners, you know, honing down their running, getting faster, using good training techniques. You know, but we're also seeing a lot of the recreational runners filling in, you know, in the back that have never run River Run before.
Right. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to show you and talk about some of the training techniques, some of the new technology, not just in nutrition and rest, but in equipment that is making the difference for a lot faster runners. That's coming up on our continuing coverage of the 2018 Gate River Run.
For the local station, this is special coverage of the 41st Annual Gate River Run.
Welcome back to the finish line. Julie Stackhouse joins us here live. Julie, well-known Jacksonville runner, well-known Florida runner. Ever since you moved here in 2005, you've never missed this race.
No, this is my favorite race. I love the Donna and I love Gate every year. I don't miss it.
You think that they improve it every year somehow?
Somehow, some way. I mean, Doug and Jane and their staff with First Place Sports, I'm really proud to race for the team. But yeah, every year it just seems to get a little bit better. And this year, we got the gift of perfect weather.
Right. Julie, you said you didn't run a PR, but it was perfect out there.
It was perfect, yeah. Today, there are no excuses. I coach athletes here in Jacksonville, and I said, just go for it today, have some fun out there. So even though it wasn't my best day, I still enjoyed running with the team and had some great competitors out there to run with.
Keith, Julie's pretty indicative of a very strong elite running community here in North Florida.
Right. Well, you know, and I think that she epitomizes what, a lot of the athletes in Jacksonville are trying to do. They've run either with a group of other, elite runners. And I think, you'd agree that I think, misery loves company, and we want to train with other people, and we want to work. No, it is, especially in the summer, Now you're training for Boston, correct?
Yes, I'm training for Boston currently. So today was really kind of a test of a month away. Where am I? I still have to put in some miles before then. But what I always say, I think the best part about Gate River Run is that in what other venue, in which other sport can you line up with the best in the world? Today, to have the opportunity for me to line up with Jordan Hasse and Molly Huddle, I mean, I get butterflies just thinking about it. So many great women here locally, but then to line up literally with Olympians and the best in the world in our hometown, I tell people they can't miss that. Whether you come out and cheer or you run or you're handing out water, it's an amazing race.
I want to show you the shoes, if we can, that Julie is wearing. She's wearing this Brooks shoe that obviously weighs virtually nothing.
No.
And the new technology. And Keith, now we don't have a deal with Brooks or Nike or anything, but we just want to show you. And this is the Nike version of that.
Right.
I mean, you cannot believe that thing weighs a feather.
Yeah, there's like 6 ounces for like a size 9. And what Nike was saying, this shoe was actually created for the runners who are trying to break 2 hours in the marathon.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah, and it's like
both Adidas and Nike are trying to be the first to do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I think when you and I started running, we were running in wooden shoes,
absolutely.
right? And
literally tennis shoes.
Yeah, and they were our stopwatch was a stone tablet, right?
Pretty much. Yeah. Mine was an abacus.
Yeah,
I don't know about yours. I needed a sundial for mine.
But now we're using these Garmins who have more technology than most supercomputers had 30 years ago. So I think it is really making a difference on the feedback that runners are giving to themselves and their coaches. And I think this is obviously you hit the wall when you're get to the point of diminishing returns. And I think it's important to keep looking for that technology that helps you improve.
In fact, if we can, we'll show Julie's watch as well. You've got the latest technology in terms of what do you refer to this while you're going? You're such an elite runner, though. Like Keith, you know what your heart rate is. You know your pace.
Go off of feel and you stay in the race. But absolutely, like Keith said, I can look down and see my instant pace. And I remember I used to have to wait until you saw a time clock and hit lap split, and you would look and see what you just ran for that mile. So it is great to look down and make instant adjustments.
Keith, what has this done for recreational running, certainly for elite runners like Julie? I mean, they understand it. You understood it even when, I hate to say it, in 1996, 22 years
Thanks
ago.
a lot, Sam.
That's all right.
I know what you said.
But this really has changed the dynamic for so many people. The availability that the internet has brought with training techniques, nutrition, rest, coaching, like both of you provide.
Absolutely.
It really, and the equipment, the watches, the shoes has really changed what recreational runners can do.
Well, I'll give you a good example. In April, I ran the Paris Marathon. I wasn't in very good shape. I'm 40 pounds overweight, but I knew that if I ran a heart rate higher than, let's say, 155 at any time in the first 18 miles, I was going to be in trouble. And think of it as like a tachometer on a race car. You're using that to gauge how much output you
don't want a red line early.
Don't run a red line early. And if I didn't have that, I guarantee you emotion would have gotten a hold of me and I would have blown up. So it really does. It makes a huge difference.
Julie, that's kind of what you're like out there,
right? The first year I ran with the elites, I was just so excited to be running with them that I ran the first 3 miles too fast and blew up on the bridge. And so I learned from that. And today I saw a younger athlete nervous on the line, and I said, best advice I could give is go out, relax, run your race. Don't worry about what's happening in the front. And I saw her ahead of me today. I know she ran really well. So you can't get caught up in it all. You have to run your race. But to what Keith said, as far as the training and recovery and nutrition goes, it's a huge role. And I think, a race like this every year for runners to shoot for, I know people that have been training since, well, for sure January, New Year's resolutions, but from Christmas on for this race specifically. So it gives everybody in Jacksonville and the surrounding areas a big goal to train for.
Julie, congratulations. Thanks for your insight.
Thanks for having
Great
me.
stuff. Great to see you.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Julie Stackhouse, one of the elite runners here in North Florida, who talks about, and Keith, when you start talking about a lot of recreational runners, and your coaching has to do with some running technique and getting the right equipment, but then you start talking about nutrition, rest, what to eat leading up to a race, how to taper to the race. All of those things go into being able to be competitive even as a recreational runner.
Well, and I think what people have to understand is that human beings are adaptation machines, okay? And what I mean by that is that we adapt to stress. If you apply stress and then you allow the body to recover, it actually will improve, okay? The challenge is allowing just enough recovery to allow for that adaptation, okay? And I think that this is where the challenge comes in, is most folks don't know what that is. And I used to ask my coach, hey, what is enough, recovery? And he said, enough.
Exactly. And that used to be available only to elite athletes like you. Now, for instance, the former race medical director, Dr. Tony Osborne, has a place in San Marco that's called the Sports Recovery Annex, that it is such an essential part for even weekend warriors, so to speak.
Absolutely.
To understand the amount of time I know, and I still ride my bike, as a cyclist, when I'm done, my Garmin, and we don't have a deal with Garmin either, but my Garmin says to me when it uploads immediately to my computer, how many hours of rest based on the output and the numbers I put in there that I need. And I'm telling you, it is
spot
within
on.
an hour accurate. It's unbelievable how it comes up with it.
Obviously nutrition makes a big difference, the rehydration, eating the right, balance of food. And I encourage people, if you're confused about that, and nutrition is very confusing, go find a nutritionist, get a consultation. It's probably the best $200 you'll ever spend, because you'll be able to use that for years. And I
not just as an athlete.
Right, not just as an athlete.
Just running your life.
I know, absolutely. And I think that's again, one of the biggest keys is having that balance of stress, recovery, and applying that adaptation.
We are getting to the point where a lot of people who feel no stress are about to feel a little stress as they run that. And if you're familiar with it, this is actually the off ramp of the Hart Bridge that you run up. We will check in with what's going on there, check in with Culpeper and San Marco. Keith Brantley, 8-time national champion, continues to join us here. We're on the air with live coverage until 10 a.m. this morning, so stay with us. We'll have most of the people finished by then in our coverage of the 2018 Gate River Run.
Welcome back. Our live coverage continues of the 41st running of the Gate River Run. We are live here in San Marco, right here next to Watley Park, just shy of the halfway mark. And as you can see behind me, so many runners continuing to come through. We're starting to see some more flavor in terms of the outfits. The elite runners pretty, functional in their outfits, but you see a lot of the runners coming through now who are wearing things like tutus. We saw a bit of a wrestling mask a little bit earlier. Saw Melanie Lawson come by just a moment ago for Channel 4. And some guys coming through as well who are wearing full firefighter gear. So to see that, pretty impressive. Folks having a lot of fun in this stretch of the race right now. Some who are employing what's called the Galloway method, a run-walk kind of method. A lot of folks coming through having a great time. Hey, guys. And this is the group here. These are my folks. These are my people. They're making it a social event as they're coming through. They still want to run. They still want to put up a time, but they also know that it is a long haul. And if you think a lot of these folks started off maybe half an hour after the elites went off, just because of the massive number of people who were running. And you can see there are some different tiers for different people who are at it. A number of different tiering sessions for the more elite runners, and some who are here enjoying the party for sure, like these two.
Over here, mister.
Some make it more social than others. Some it's all about the time, and some it's about the time of their life that they're having here. You guys enjoying yourself so far?
We love the River Run. It is literally...
Oh, mimosa.
Woo! It's less a 15K than just a moving social party where all your friends come out. It's a once-a-year opportunity. We pet dogs. We have to drink. Oh my gosh, we have people taking our photos along the course to text to us. We love this.
All right, keep it up. Great job.
See you in a minute.
Sam told me not to do this mimosa until after 10 o'clock, so I may save this one or make a friend here along the way. But as you can see, it continues to be just a lot of excitement, a lot of energy for people who are running here. A lot of folks who I run with throughout the course of the weeks who are enjoying themselves today. There's also a little bit of an ongoing debate about whether you should wear the race shirt on the day of. This year, the shirt, you can see some of the racers wearing it, sort of a light blue. And for some, it's like wearing the concert shirt when you go to the concert. I don't know, it's sort of a personal preference thing there. But you can see a lot of folks who are enjoying their day out here today. This is really an accomplishment when you talk about this, the whole year leading up to it, an opportunity for each and every of these runners to really enjoy themselves as they go through here. Just about the halfway mark, there's a water station about 200 yards up Alexandria Place that is really the halfway point. And you see a lot of shirts, too, for Marathon High. It's a great program for high schoolers to run 26.2 miles in total over the course of a set amount of time to get folks running and get kids moving and active. And you see a lot of them competing and participating in the Gate River Run as well. Let's see what's happening as we look around the area here. We've got coverage, of course, all around Jacksonville for the River Run. Crystal Chen is at the foot of the Hart Bridge, where she is set up, keeping an eye on how things are rolling today in the 41st running of the Gate River Run.
So it's definitely still very exciting out here. A lot of energy, even though these runners are exhausted. They are making their way up that last stretch of the race. And, you know, when they do get tired, the thing is they do have those water stations out here at mile marker 8. This is right on Atlantic Boulevard and Art Museum Drive, right at the bottom of the Hart Bridge. On the sidelines as well, a lot of families out here and a lot of friends out here supporting. So here we have Jennifer. This is someone who's out here. You've been out here all morning, and who are you out here supporting?
My daughter Gretchen. It's her first time running. She's 23, and I'm so excited.
Awesome. So what is the most exciting part about this race for you?
Oh, I think everyone coming together. I've participated in the run a few times myself, and this year, unfortunately, I can't with foot injury, and I'm sad, but I'm so, my proud mom moment is taking over, and it makes me not so sad. I'm not in it to be here to support her, so I'm really happy about that.
All right, so a lot of people definitely, you know, out here on the sidelines, they've run before. Maybe they've been out here for the past 9 years. So we've definitely seen a lot of families who have made their way out here, and they're dedicated cheerleaders. We're going to be out here talking to them as well as cheering on the runners as they run through. For now, this is a live report from Atlantic Boulevard in Art Museum Drive, and we'll be right back after the break.
You got this, guys.
Before she was
many times. Hi, everybody. Here we are. Keith and I having a discussion about travel, which is a passion for both of us, by the way. Ran in the Paris Marathon this year. You said you hadn't really trained for it, but we have talked about that sub 2-hour marathon that may be, you know, many people thought, and of course we mourn the passing of Roger Bannister this week, who was the first man to break 4 minutes at 88 years old. Sir Roger Bannister died in the UK this week. And many people at the time in the 50s thought that the 4-minute barrier was humanly, physiologically impossible to break. Many people have thought that 2-hour barrier might be broken by a woman first because of the body composition. And both Nike and Adidas are determined to make that happen.
Well, you know, they developed some shoes that actually have really given the runners an advantage without being illegal.
Some return, right?
Yeah, some return. It still is within the parameters the IAAF actually allows. But I think in the end, you know, we look at technology when we're running up to the point of diminishing returns when it comes to athletics, and we have to look for some changes in performance with the shoes that we use, some of the technology we use to train. and give you that advantage. So, definitely when we can get that and it's still within the legal parameters, let's use it.
We're looking at some of my peeps here in San Marco who are still enjoying
These are mine
themselves,
too, Sam.
making their way. What'd you end up running that Paris Marathon in?
I ran 3 hours and 23 minutes, and I'll tell you,
Crossed the finish line.
I crossed the finish line. That's all I care about. And I had a nice big beer waiting for me.
There you go. Now, Keith, you actually have the official times that they have sent you for our winners,
right?
And a couple of the statistics there are pretty impressive.
Well, I thought what was amazing is, Molly Huddle ran 47:50, and she finished ahead of Jordan Assay, the second place finisher, winner last year, by 50 seconds.
Wow.
It just crushed her.
Right.
And
it's like half a length of a pool.
Oh, it is. I mean, it's huge. And when you consider that Jordan is probably in some of the best shape of her life right now, both are pointing toward major marathons coming up. That's just huge for Molly Huddle.
That time, by the way, is about a minute, about 50 seconds off the women's record at that, I believe Shalane set.
Shalane,
here, right?
Shalane ran 47:04.
Shalane Flanagan, our winner 3 years ago. Now, the men's winner, our defending champion Leonard Career, did not approach the record set by Todd Williams at 42:22. And the disparity between Molly's time and his time for the actual where they crossed the finish line, it was noticeable this year.
Yeah, the equalizer bonus. I mean, Molly just crushed them. And again, I don't think that that's an indictment on the depth of the men's field. It's more of just kudos to Molly and Jordan. And Leonard ran 43:07, which is a really fast time for a 15K. Anytime you get around the 43-minute mark, that's cooking. But I really think that the way Molly turned everybody back today is just really impressive.
Leonard told us when he spoke to us right after finishing, and it's always amazed me, elite athletes like you finish a 15K national championship and 10 seconds later are able to step up here and talk
have
to
a
us.
Conversation.
But nonetheless, he told us that knowing the course and scouting it again this year played to his advantage. He knew what to expect. You found that same experience in your running career?
Yeah, it really does, especially this course, which has a lot of twisting turns.
That's why people are so surprised that the American record was set here, and that's why Doug Allred, the race director, went back out and measured it again.
The course,
because usually records are set on courses that have long stretches of just straightaways.
Well, exactly, and I think, again, that goes back to really the impressive performance that Todd Williams put together. I mean, no one's really challenged that time of 42:22. It's just incredibly fast. And I think that again, when we have national championship after national championship here, since Todd ran it, no one's even coming close.
Part of the time issue, obviously, is, as you have been explaining in the past, the tangents that runners run. Elite runners know this, but I mentioned to you off air that whenever I would come up that ramp of the Hart Bridge, I would always kind of drift to the right because it was flat over there and it didn't feel as difficult to climb the Hart Bridge. And you said that's actually the correct tangent, that elite runners know where to go on a course, even one that's 15,000K.
Well, for some reason, most people want to drift after they come up that ramp. Most people want to drift to the left. I don't know what it is to get a good view of the city on their left, but really what you want to do is stay on the right because that is the shortest course. It has nothing to do with the fact that it does flatten out a little bit. It is definitely the shortest course. And I always, when I'm running, I'm always looking up and looking down the course to make sure that I see where the course bends, where it turns, and that I'm drawing kind of an imaginary laser line to that next tangent.
Keith, how is a course actually measured? Do they measure it along the curb, the center of the road?
No.
Do they use lasers, those wheels? What do they use?
A little bit of a combination of both. They actually use a wheel as the old school way of doing it, and it actually is one of the most accurate ways of doing it. Believe it or not, actually the course distance will change depending on the time of day because of the heating of the earth. And that's how accurate they can get, believe it or not. But yes, they are measured about 1 foot off the curb on the tangents. So, it's going to be very rare that you're going to actually, be able to run 9.3 miles exactly. You're going to run probably a little bit over that.
So it wouldn't surprise you at all, people who are running with watches that can measure all the different variables, if some of these people are actually running about 9.6 miles.
Yeah, exactly. And again, you know, that's just a function of the fact they're running, you know, along a weaving line. And it's interesting that you said that the elites know this. I've been in packs where I've actually had to direct the runners from one side to another, and I feel like a sheep herder, actually. I'm moving them from one side to the other, and it's because, you know, a lot of the athletes, they hadn't run that particular course. But during my career, as I was getting older and fatter and slower, I'm like, I'm not going to run any further than I have to. I'm going to make these guys move.
Great analysis by Keith Brantley, who will continue with us here at our coverage of the Gate River Run. Now, we are going to be on till 10 o'clock. This is the first time this has happened because the race used to start at 8:30. We would miss about half the field because about half the field runs in 90 minutes. We're going to see an awful lot of people that we've never seen before as our coverage continues right here on Channel 4. Stay with us.
Channel 4, the local station. This is special coverage of the 41st Annual Gate River Run.
Back here at the Gate River Run, Keith Brantley, 8-time national champion, as not just, you also were a miler for a while, right?
I did. I actually ran the equivalent of a sub-4-minute mile when I was 30 years old, believe it or not.
How about that? So 10K, 20K, 25K, and of course, 2-time national marathon winner. Not many of these people, certainly none back here, are ever going to participate in the Olympics. I was at the Atlanta Olympics that year that you ran, and certainly we had, I think, a half dozen Olympians in the field today. What's that experience like?
Well, I tell you, Joan Benoit, the great women's marathoner who won the gold in '84, summed it up to me when a couple of years ago when I took her out, actually, when she was down here for the Donna.
Right.
It was Valentine's Day. We went out to Valentine's dinner together, and she said, you know, Keith, the thing that you have to realize that your life will never be the same when you go through that tunnel and go into that stadium and circle that track. Your life will change forever. And she's right. She said that, you know, it's the greatest experience of her life, but now the experience becomes a responsibility because now we're really a representative not just of the United States, but of the Olympic movement.
You know, Keith, running has also become a big charity thing. You mentioned the Donna, our good friend Donna Deegan, who has dedicated this part of her life to finding a cure for cancer. Charity's a big part of it.
Huge.
You and I will talk about it. I know you and your wife, Kim, are very involved in a recovery, rehabilitating addicts. Running has its own kind of allure for people, and they stick to it. And we'll talk about that when we come back. Let's join Cole Pepper in San Marco, where, Cole, you still have a pretty good crowd of people coming by.
Yeah, and I think, Sam, a lot of these folks have been doing some combination of running and walking. Some walking more than others, some running more than others. But, of course, they're experiencing this as a social event. For a lot of the folks we've seen already go by, maybe the motivation was to put up a great time, maybe a personal record. Others want to get that cap as a top 10% finisher. Others just want to have the experience of going through it. There are a lot of different motivations for folks who run the River Run. But for one runner we met, that motivation is a very deep and personal connection. It all started in 1998 when Eric Henderson's JU classmate Rob Elortegui challenged him to run the River Run. Henderson admits that he was talking big about his chances to finish the race despite not training. But Eric took up the challenge.
I can't say that I ran the whole thing. I did quite a bit of walking, but it was absolute torture that first time because I didn't know what 9 miles looked like, let alone going over the bridge.
The bridge, of course, is the Hart Bridge, the Green Monster. After college, Elortegui went into the Navy. Henderson moved to Boston for work. When he returned to Jacksonville, the two began running together. Elortegui was stationed at Naval Station Mayport. In September 2005, he was killed when the helicopter he was piloting lost communications while conducting a nighttime deck landing off the coast of North Carolina.
Rob was the type of guy that, you know, you talk about the love of life. He enjoyed every single day. To honor Rob, I had already signed up for the Gate, and I knew I wanted to do it. and I ran that gate, and the year following, they put his name on the memorial wall. So now it really means a lot to me to go back every year. I kneel down, I go visit his name at the wall, and I kind of talk to him before the run and thank him for getting me hooked in this, crazy sport.
Henderson has run 12 straight Gate River runs, and he admits that Ilortegi, who he says was quite a motivator, still speaks to him as he approaches the Hart Bridge every year.
He was quite the motivator, so I've had some words with Rob going up that green monster pretty much every year. Yeah, absolutely. Rob's in my head all the time. Like I said, I go to the wall and I talk to him before we run, and I kind of get some inspiration from him, and then we talk again when that green monster comes, and running up that green monster, I'm screaming at him, and I know he's screaming at me, not to stop. And it's amazing when people talk about somebody's with you or inside you or motivating you, inspiring you, it's absolutely true. Knowing that I will not stop running up that bridge, or Rob will be behind me kicking my butt.
Different conversations, a lot of different conversations that people have with themselves going up that Hart Bridge. A lot of folks having that conversation right now as they are approaching the Green Monster. Others who are here, well, they've got a ways to go. Again, we're about the 4.5 mile mark, and we'll step aside, let some of the folks enjoy this as they're coming through nearly the halfway mark here at Watley Park, just south of the San Marcos Square on Hendricks Avenue and Alexandria Place. These folks have a ways to go before they get to that Green Monster, and at the pace they're going right now, they may or may not have to have a really serious conversation about how it's all playing out. For now, we're keeping an eye on things here as our coverage of the River Run continues, the 41st running. More to come straight ahead right here on Channel 4.
The sausage and egg business.
No feeling on the outside of my foot.
Still?
Yeah.
Welcome back to our coverage here of the 2018 Gate River Run, 41st running of the Gate River Run. Sam Kavaris and Keith Brantley here at the finish line. A lot of these folks who are finishing now, just over an hour and a half, obviously have run to test themselves. Some are raising money. I know you and your wife, Kim Pawlik. By the way, Kim is one of the elite runners and has been here for years and years. Not to date her, but she's a well-known runner here in North Florida.
She's mature.
You guys really have done something really special. Tell us about the charity that you're dealing with a lot of people who have addictive problems.
Right. So we support a charity called Run Well, and it was actually started by Linda Quirk, who is the wife of Randy Quirk, who is the president of Fidelity National Financial Services here in Jacksonville. Run Well was started basically to help people who are struggling with the disease of addiction to be able to change their life through using running as a healthy way to get into competition, to just start working out with other people. And I think that the greatest testament to the success of Run Well is that now we're participating in 7 major marathons throughout the country, throughout the world, excuse me. We're going to be in Berlin at the Berlin Marathon with 10 of our athletes over there, and they get in because of a lottery system and through this the charity. So if you want to participate in Berlin Marathon, come and join us with Run Well. But we've had so many success stories.
So as people who are struggling with addiction, who are able to channel that part of their personality into something that can take up a lot of time and also is competitive and clearly is a healthy habit.
Well, absolutely. And, I think that we're finally in this country getting a grip on the fact that addiction is truly a mental health or a health disorder. Okay, and I think that if we approach it from the perspective that we are trying to change people's physiology and the way they think by substituting running instead of alcohol or drugs, it really does change, because it really is all about chemicals in your body, right? And I think in the end, that's where our goal is one, change it through habit, through chemical, through the participation of being involved in athletics, and it's amazing the lives we've changed.
people talk about runner's high. I have experienced that a few times, and it is a real thing that you can get to based on the endomorphins that your body is producing and what's going on out there. And you see some people here now are just making their way to the Hart Bridge. Hopefully they're experiencing a little bit of a runner's high here as well. You know, we have numerous people at Channel 4 who run in the Gate River Run. Crystal Moyer is one of them. Recently, she just went through San Marco and talked to Cole Pepper.
Hi, guys. We're here with one of the many Channel 4 family members who are running, Crystal Moyer, usually talking about the traffic, now creating some traffic of her own.
Oh, yeah.
How's it going so far?
It's going great. I mean, this is my 5th year running this race. It's the most fun I've ever had, just to see the community involvement, everybody outside of their yards just cheering us on. It really helps motivate us.
Well, so I'm going to just make a guess here, Crystal, because knowing your effervescent personality, and she will be singing through the newsroom while we're all in their work. Are you talking to folks as you're out here? You having conversations, or are you just grinding through it?
I do. I do not race for time. I actually race for the experience. So there's bands set up all along the course. I make sure I stop and I dance. And I thank all of our men and women of, law enforcement. There's guys out there running in their full firefighter gear, JFRD. I don't know how they do it. So I just make sure I go around. I introduce myself to people living in the neighborhood. I dance with some of the bands. It's a lot of support out here.
Well, and no doubt about it, you have a chance to dance right here. The band 3 is set up right next to us here at Watley Park. You don't care about time. You're just about have those experiences. Do you take pictures along the way? What are you doing?
I do, and I tell people, because they shut down the Main Street Bridge, they shut down the Hart Bridge. This is really your experience to get out there and take pictures of beautiful downtown Jacksonville when you're on the Hart Bridge. It's something that you can't even describe.
All right, Crystal, great work. Keep it up. You're halfway there.
I got to get on the road now. I got to start running. Bye, guys.
All right, back to you.
All right, started running once again, as maybe we'll be on the air when Crystal gets to the final. People who are getting to the Hart Bridge now are these people, because I know this experience, are dreading this.
I'm not sure if it's dreading.
Right?
I think they've gotten to the point where they've gone 7 miles, right, and they've gone up that first ramp, and then they see the bridge and how big it is. It really, until you actually start climbing up it, you don't really realize how steep that bridge is.
It's a 9% grade, which means for every 100 feet, it raises 9 feet, if you can stick that in your head in terms of the Pythagorean theorem and how a triangle works. But you can see that. In fact, Crystal Chen is there. Let's check in. Crystal, are people smiling, or are they dreading going up there?
It's kind of a mix of both right now. We do have a lot of runners coming up the bridge. They're taking selfies. They're taking time to text as they're coming up. So yes, they are tired, but they're still going at it. They're not quitting anytime soon. And one of the runners that just passed through, I actually talked to her earlier this week. She says the fact that she's in this run is a miracle in itself. She was actually in an accident 7 years ago and has been in a long process of recovery. She is now back running, and she is hoping to cross that finish line today. She's a thrill seeker who ran track in high school, played softball, and was constantly on the go. But in the blink of an eye, all that was derailed when Amanda Cody was hit by a drunk driver 7 years ago, spinning her car out of control and almost flipping her silver Toyota into a busy intersection.
Just the amount of pain that I've had to go through. I mean, some days they're still bad, some days are, a little bit better than others. Just the pain in general was the hardest.
Beyond the pain, her world was turned upside down when doctors told her she wouldn't be able to run again.
I was a track runner in high school, and not being able to run was like taking my world away. Being, 22 when it first happened, and having the back of like an 80-year-old is so hard to deal with, because, it limited me from being able to run, which I don't like having to stop running. And bending down like this actually really hurt.
She refused to let the accident stop her. With the help of doctors, intensive physical therapy, and years of training, Cody's track to the Gate River Run is an unforgettable one.
Someone might benefit from my story that might be going through the same situation, that could be laying in a hospital bed and doctors saying that they can't, run again or work out again, and they have no hope. And really, there is hope.
So she's obviously very excited that she's come this far in her recovery, and crossing that finish line will mean the end of a very long recovery process. She says her next goal for next year will be crossing a half marathon. So right now, still a lot of people out here. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see some of the shots as people are coming up that half-mile stretch of the Hart Bridge. It is a very, very long road. They've already run 7 miles, so keep that in mind. So 7 miles already, and this is the last stretch of the race. They're going to push on. We're going to stay out here with the families and also the cheerleaders that are out on the sidelines supporting them. For now, we'll toss it to break, and we'll be right back.
Back here at our coverage of the 2018 Gate River Run, Keith Brantley, 8-time national champion, joining us. Keith, you and I were just talking about, in terms of hydration, a lot of these people are going to have finishing, even though we're almost at the 2-hour mark. Some of these people were in the 3rd and 4th wave, so they're going to run about 90 minutes. What's the important thing for them to do as soon as they cross the finish line? They're going to go, they're going to get their medal. Some are just going to go drink beer.
Right. Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
But what would be the right thing to do after finishing 15K?
Grab that bottle of water and start drinking. And I illustrate this a lot with recreational runners and myself, actually. When I go out and do a long run, like a 10-mile run, what I do is I weigh myself. I take all my clothes off. Bad visual, but I take all my clothes off and I get on the scale, and then I put my running clothes on to go for a run. And then when I get back, take my clothes off, get on the scale, right?
Okay.
And if I lose like 4 pounds, that's a half a gallon of water.
Wow.
Okay, so put that in perspective. That's a lot of water to replace, okay? And even if you're drinking while you're running water, you're still not going to be able to make up what you lose.
And the recommended is 64 ounces a day.
Absolutely.
And to begin with, that's even if you're training.
Just
Exactly.
being, not sitting on the couch.
Just being. Sitting on the couch. I've gotten real good at that, by the way. Hopefully some of you are still sitting on the couch watching us. We'll be here for another 10 minutes or so. So stay with us here in our coverage of the 2018 Gate River Run.
During the rooms to go on.
Hey, we're back here at the start line, and good look at Molly Huddle, our champion. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You crushed the men, win the equalizer bonus, and we saw drone pictures of you coming down the Hart Bridge. You clearly picked it up, and you were like, nobody's catching me here.
Yeah, I was just running within the back of my mind, knowing they could catch me at the very end. And so even when there was a mile to go, I was like, you still got to push. You don't know who's back there. So.
Keith, you were pretty impressed by that.
Yeah, you know, I think the thing that stood out to me was how far she just destroyed Jordan by. I mean, you know, by 50 seconds is just incredible. And you just seem to have no fear going down the bridge.
Yeah, I know there's, they time our last mile, so I was like, I want to see what it is. Let's try and make it fast.
Did you get a split on that?
No, I'm going to go look after the race, I think. So.
How was it out there in terms of a lot of twists and turns in the first half of the race?
Yeah.
And you kind of separated yourself with a couple of other women and knew, okay, this is the pace that we're going to win this race at.
Yeah, I tried to estimate what I thought would get the equalizer and what I thought I could do, which was around 5:10 per mile. So I just tried to stick to that, and whoever was with me, and if I broke away, I had to just keep pushing by myself. So fortunately, we had great weather, and it was kind of cool to have people cheering the whole way for the women. So yeah, it was fun.
Keith's an 8-time national champion, as you know.
Nice.
To win a national championship is a special thing, no matter at what distance. When they hand you that medal, you know, when you put the stars and stripes on, that's pretty special.
It really is special, and I love the U.S. road racing circuit. We have a lot of national championships, and I never take them for granted. And yeah, it's every time I can come away with a win with the depth of women's running and how good our road women are right now. It's just always special. So yeah, I'm proud of that.
What's next?
The Boston Marathon.
Wow.
So yeah.
So this fit into your training schedule. Keith and I talked about that a lot during the telecast.
It did, yeah. Same for Jordan too. And I'll probably do another hard week of training next week, and then there's not too much time, about a month to go after that. So yeah, I'm excited. It was good to get a break from the mileage and run short 9 miles today. So yeah.
Short time, by the way. Molly, congratulations, and thank you so much for stopping by. I know you were in doping control and all the other commitments that you had, but thank you for making time to come by and talk to us. All right, Molly Huddle, our 2018 champion, won the equalizer bonus as well. Keith, it's been fun once again. You ought to do this, by the way.
Well,
You're fabulous
thank you so much.
this.
And like I say, it's been a real honor to work with you, Sam.
Well, it's just fantastic stuff. One year I should get you and Todd here, and then I could just leave.
No, you're a fixture.
The two of you could just handle it. But great to have Molly Huddle with us. Look for her at the Boston Marathon. Thanks to Cole Pepper for his coverage in San Marco, as well as Crystal Chen, who was giving us the updates on the Hart Bridge, which is tough enough, I know. Absolutely. And thanks most of all to you for watching our coverage here of the 2018 41st Annual Gate River Run.
More people in Northeast Florida and South Georgia get their news from News 4 Jax than anywhere else.